Hello students, let's see stacks and subroutines or subprograms. So stack is also a memory which is used for temporary storage of data which is in registers or return addresses when subprograms are executed. Okay, so in 8086 we have a stack segment. So we have stack segment register inside internal to the processor. You have stack segment register. So if stack segment register is loaded with some address, then it means that the stack segment, if it is 4000, it means the physical base address of the stack segment is 40000H. So this is the 20-bit physical address where our stack segment will start, and each segment is of 64 kilobytes, so the end address can be 4FFH. So this is the end of the stack. So not always we use all the 64 kilobytes of memory. So in the program which you are using, you don't need that much of a stack memory. Then you can initialize the top of the stack to some memory at an address of 50H or anywhere like this. Let us suppose we need only that much number of stack memory, so we can point the stack pointer register with this address, and this is the stack pointer top of the stack. Okay, so if suppose SP is equal to stack pointer is loaded with this address 0050H, that means this is the top of the stack now. In the stack memory, this is the top of the stack. As you put data to stack memory, the stack pointer will vary, like it points to always the top of the stack. There are some instructions which work with this stack memory, and always this stack memory is of kind last in first out. That means the data which is put at the last will be taken out first. Okay, the data which is loaded to the stack, because you can observe here in case of a code segment or data segment, we say that the start address is 4000, then the bytes are loaded by incrementing the address, like 4001, one byte comes, to another byte comes, and so on. But here in this case, the stack pointer contains a decremented as you place the data to the stack, because it is pointing to the top of the stack, not to the base. Okay, so the data which is put at the last will be taken out first, last in first out kind of a memory. Let's see like with examples and how this stack is used. Okay, now subroutines or subprograms. See, many times when you program, write a program, like certain sequence of instructions are repeatedly used in the program. Many times we may see that like certain number of instructions are repeatedly used in the program. So instead of writing those set of instructions, sequence of instructions so many number of times, you can write that set of instructions as a subprogram. Okay, so that repeated sequence of instructions, you can write it as a separate program, subprogram, and then it can be called from the main program. So let us suppose you have a set of instructions which are repeatedly executed. For example, we can take in the last video I have discussed a delay program. We have written a delay program, delay which generates a delay of, gives a delay of 1 millisecond. Okay, so that program, we name that program as a delay, and this is the subprogram. This delay program is required in our program several number of times. Then we write it as a separate program and name it as a delay, which gives a delay of 1 millisecond. Okay, so now write the main program. So you have in a main program a sequence of instructions. Here you need a delay program. Then you can use an instruction to include this subprogram in the main program. The instruction used is call delay. Again, the program is continued. After some instructions, again I need delay. I can write call delay, so on. So any number of times, how many times it is required in the program, you can write it. Okay, so by writing this way, instead of writing this delay program 2 times, you have written only once, thus reducing the number of instructions in the program. Okay, one more application of using this subprogram is you can divide the task into different modules or different segments. Then each segment can be, it is easier for testing and debugging each segment separately. It becomes easier for testing and debugging each segment separately if you write them as different subprograms and include all these modules in a main program. So that is one more advantage of writing subprograms. Okay, now let's see how this execution takes place, how this call instruction works. So when this call instruction is executed, like it is required, what is required is the processor execution must be transferred to the delay program. That means it should point to, after this instruction, it should execute the first instruction of delay program. Execution should be transferred from this place to the subprogram, execute the program, and every subprogram is, the last instruction in the subprogram must be a return instruction, because after executing this instruction, it has to go to the place next to the instruction next to call instruction, because it should continue with the main program. It is called from the main program. After this subprogram execution, it needs to execute the next instruction to call instruction. Okay, so executes these instructions. Then when again call is executed, call delay is executed, again the program execution should be transferred to the subprogram first instruction, execute the subprogram with return instruction. Now the execution should be transferred to the next instruction, to this call instruction. This is the second call instruction. Here you see the call address is same in both the cases, but return instruction, return address is different. Again, if there was a call, again another return in address it should be. Okay, so how this instruction gets a different return address? Okay, so this address must be stored somewhere, then only it can get that address while it executes return address. So this return address is always stored in stack memory. Okay, so if suppose this is the stack memory, okay, stack pointer is pointing to this top of the stack. Let us suppose this is the stack segment base. This is the stack pointer pointing to the top of the stack. Then when call instruction is executed, one thing is the return address must be stored in stack, because with return it should come back to execute this instruction. So where is this instruction? This address is in instruction pointer, because when call is under execution, its next instruction address will be in instruction pointer. So instruction pointer contents are to be pushed to stack, that means stored in stack. Okay, so stack pointer contents will be there, whatever it is pointing to the top of the stack. So when this instruction is executed, instruction pointer high byte is stored in this location, stack pointer -1. It is stored in stack pointer -1 address, and IP low, instruction pointer low byte, this is 16-bit, isn't it? 16-bit offset address is stored in these two locations, and now stack pointer will be pointing to this location. Now this is the top of the stack. And next thing is, it should get the next address, the address of the subprogram. So how it gets this address of subprogram? The call instruction format is call delay you write. Here it is, if it is a direct addressing, it is 16-bit displacement. 16-bit displacement. So the displacement is calculated. How this displacement is calculated? So this is at some address, and at how much a displacement this address is from this address. That displacement is to be calculated, and that displacement is specified here. This is signed 16-bit displacement. Most significant bit represents the sign of the displacement here, sign of this, that means which tells whether it is a forward jump or backward jump, because call with direct address, it is same as that of the jump instruction. Okay, so call to that or jump to that particular location, execution should be transferred to this location. So this address can be greater than this address, or it can be less than this address. Depends whether the delay program is written after the main program or before the main program. Okay, so accordingly the displacement is calculated, and that is specified here. So when this instruction is executed, two things are done. One is instruction pointer contents are saved in stack, and next thing is, now instruction pointer should be loaded with a new address. What is that new address? Address of this subprogram. So instruction pointer will be loaded with the present instruction pointer plus 16-bit displacement. Okay, so with this, it will get the start address of the subprogram. Now subprogram gets executed. Okay, executed, and with return instruction. When return instruction is executed, what happens is, the data which is there in stack, the data which is there in the stack, that will be loaded back to instruction pointer. That means SP minus this SP stack pointer is now pointing to this address. So stack pointer contents and its next instruction, next location contents, these are loaded back to instruction pointer, so that the execution is transferred to the next instruction to call. Understood? So here, when call instruction is executed, instruction pointer, present instruction pointer contents are saved in stack, or sent to stack. Stack pointer -1 and -2. IPH and IPL is loaded to these locations in the stack. And then instruction pointer will be loaded with the present instruction pointer plus 16-bit displacement. So with this, it gets the address of the subprogram, so that the execution will be transferred to subprogram. When the subprogram is executed, after the execution of this subprogram, at the end you will have an return instruction. So with the execution of return instruction, the contents which are there in it don't know, like a stack pointer will not, the processor don't know what is there in the stack. Whatever it is pointing to, the stack pointer is pointing to some location. So from that locations, it get back the address to IP register, so that it gets the address of the next instruction to call. Then it executes this program. Again, when call delay is executed, now the instruction pointer is pointing to this address, this instruction. So this contains, instruction pointer contents are again loaded to saved in stack. Execution is transferred to delay program. This is executed with return instruction. Again, it gets back the data from stack to instruction pointer, so that execution is transferred to this location. Okay, so this is how the call and return instructions work. Again, in call you have near call and far call, and the here you can use direct addressing or indirect addressing. So those all we see in the next video.